Just gonna run back Blink. No, Benzel, I don't have clones built online. That one was just a paper deck. I'm definitely looking forward to building it online though. It's really similar, so it doesn't take that much more of an investment to finish it off, and it was super fun to play. Sounds pretty slow, but I think I'm gonna keep it. Keep. Has the wall to get us some velocity. Venser's really strong in the deck, and it has one of the best finishers in the deck in Woodland Belwer. Big Nate 92, thanks for the follow, as well as Moto Zahori. Thanks for the follows. Our opponent Mulligan to 6 and Scryed to the bottom. Just gonna put the Temple Garden in tapped, pass it on over. Probably gonna fetch on turn 2 for a blue source in case we draw a double blue card to cast on turn 3. Hopefully we're able to dodge a spell snare here. Not entirely sure what our opponent's on yet. I'm just gonna get Tropical Island. Yeah, thanks, Big Nate. I'm excited to have been a part of at least some of that content. It's really fun to do, especially for something you're really passionate about. Looks like Blue Moon, so this is likely going to be getting a basic island. Nice that we have some more basics in our hand as well. We're not positive they're on Blue Moon, but that's certainly what it looks like to me. Ooh, maybe Jeskai. Alright. I am now less scared of Blood Moon. But I think I can still just get basic island here to hedge a little. They have 2 basics, which kind of scares me a bit. So I'm just gonna play a little scared. I'm just gonna start jamming things now. I'm gonna start with Recruiter. High Tide next if I have time. Cool, Max Golasso. I'll see what the chat wants again next time. If you missed earlier, we did jam a game on High Tide earlier, so you can always go back in the VOD and check that out. Thoughts on Frilled Mystic for this deck? I think I'd play Mystic Snake for sure over Frilled Mystic just because it's easier to cast. I don't think either are great. Mystic Snake is probably reasonable, but I think Frilled Mystic is a little too challenging to cast. So they went Upkeep, Wasteland us off of double blue. I think I'm gonna go for an Eternal Witness. Hope to run them out of counter spells. And try to sort of induce them into playing a creature and then Palace Jailer. I'm gonna get back Recruiter here for sure. We have another land rolled up. Double blue isn't that important for us. Thanks, Max. Glad you're enjoying the stream. Yeah, Jake Nash, you're up next for a match. I should make a thing that's like a queue for matches. That seems useful. Jalib, thanks for the follow. If you're hanging out in chat and haven't followed or don't follow me on Twitter, those are the best 2 ways to find out when I'm streaming, if you're interested in such a thing. And during this stream, we just became an affiliate, so once I figure out how all that works. We might be able to figure out bits and subscribers for next stream, which will be awesome. Did anybody in chat who came in later check out the Mythic Championship earlier? That's what I was doing with my morning. I really enjoyed watching it. I thought the level of play was super high, and Autumn deserved their victory for sure. They played super well. Awesome. Yeah, the last game was super intense. The patience they showed on that Curious Obsession was crazy. I definitely would have jammed it earlier and probably lost the game because of it. Really good to see high level play like that matter. I'm gonna flicker the Eternal Witness here, or attempt to, and try to get back a land. Don't need the fetch, so I'm just gonna get back the Trop. So they probably didn't counter that because they're maybe scared of a Venser. So I'm going to attack and then try to jam both of these 3-drops. Yeah, that's another good point. It's like one of the cheapest decks in the format, took down a Pro Tour, which is super cool. So we're going to lead on the one that they know about and is maybe more scary. Interesting. Just result. Oh, right. They have Aven Mind Sensor in play. Always lucky, chat. I won't be at the CFB Calgary event at the end of March, unfortunately. I have a wedding to be at that weekend, so I'm unable to go. But I'll be at Magic Fest Seattle in June if anyone's planning to head there. Or there's a big event being put on by the person who runs Geek Fortress on May the 4th down in Tacoma. So I will also be at that one. There's going to be a big Canlander event there, so if anyone's planning to head to that, you'll catch me at that one as well. No, unfortunately, Magic Fest Dallas is a little too far for me. Yeah, that's what it's called, the Puget Sound Battleground. That's a sweet name for a tournament as well. Ooh, that's a nice one. I know they have Mind Sensor in play this time, and this one was on purpose. Palace Jailer one time. Force of Will. The crowd hates it. We even played around the days they had. Oh well. We have 2 great spells in hand. They look to be a little stuck on lands here. Baral is probably pretty good for them when they're stuck on lands, and blanks are Wood Elves here, but Woodland Bellower is definitely less exciting with Aven Mind Sensor in play, but what are you gonna do? We are unable to cast both of these spells this turn, unless this Woodland Bellower resolves, so I guess we might as well try and do that. And hits. Needs to resolve and hit. Oh no, we just can't anyways. Don't know what I was thinking. Oh, at least we hit. That's nice. And we win next turn unless they're able to find a counterspell for Venser, because we can just play it down tick and then all our creatures are unblockable. Awesome, Destezo. Make sure you come and say hi if you see me at either either Seattle or the Battleground. Are you planning to play Highlander or one of the other events at the Battleground? I know there's a big Legacy tournament and a big Modern tournament as well. I was actually kind of tempted into playing the Legacy tournament. So they have to tuck something here. Or have a removal spell off the top. I would have liked to have seen them tuck something there, because they know we have Venser in hand. So now they needed to have hit a counter spell or a removal spell. I'm thinking about Vegas, but not sure yet. Not sure. Just insta resolves. Okay. Activate the often forgotten about ability of all my things are unblockable. Oh, they drew the Consecrated Sphinx. Which weekend is Vegas again? I forget off the top of my head. It's later this year, right? It's like in the fall sometime. Ooh, Mana Crypt. That's what we want to see. We'll keep this one. Gonna get to go turn 1, fetch a tropical island, and put a survival into play. Sounds great to me. Yeah, August 22nd through 25th. I'll have to see. I often go camping in towards the end of August, so I think it'll depend on what my schedule with that looks like, but I may be able to plan around it at this point. Because I'd definitely like to try to get out to some more Magic Fests this year. I'll probably wait and see what format it is, because I don't think it's been announced yet, and decide then. Let's go for heads. We won. Nice. So we would like to start drawing some spells here. That is something we would like to do. I think we're just going to pass with plans to ditch this Selfless Squire. I think Ben's planning to go to the Calgary event. I'm not certain about the rest of LRR. What do we want to get here? What do we want to get, chat? I sort of want more mana, but I don't really need it because I have so many lands already in hand. I'm sort of tempted to just get Palace Jailer to prevent them from tapping out. That's what I think I'm going to do. I'm planning to just play Thragtusk next turn. Let's go for Tails. We lost the flip. 1-1 so far, that's okay. Wall of Roots is kind of a nice one. So now we have the option to play Wall of Roots and Palace Jailer if we want to. I still think I'm just going to slam this Thragtusk. Just going to make them try to have a counterspell every turn. Seems unlikely that they'll be able to. Oh, wow. Yeah, Thragtusk resolving is perfectly fine by me. Maybe they're too worried about the Palace Jailer in our hand. Or yeah, they had David Mind Sensor. They just really wanted to get that in play because of the survival. They must have drawn it that last turn. Wonder if they fire off the Wasteland right away. Then we'll have been a bit rewarded for, yeah, saving the Stirring Wildwood as we are. in fact rewarded. Flame Slash Arthritic Tusk, that's fine. We still have a 3/3. Huh, and they're tapping out. They know we have a Palace Jailer in hand. Guess they're hoping we don't have double white. Yeah, I guess that was the plan. Let's go for heads again. Lost the flip. Alright, we're bordering on never lucky. Yeah, it did sort of seem like they need mana more than us. They played Wasteland that turn, so they didn't miss a land drop, but it does sort of look Shields Down-esque, doesn't it? So they don't have Island for days, so there's no point in playing around that. So I think I'm going to play Wall of Roots and then Palace Jailer and try to force them to have a Force of Will. Oh man, playing that fetch land into Aven Mindcensor was super risky, actually. Once again, I'm just YOLOing into Aven Mindcensor. I need to get better at playing around this card on Magic Online. I'm pretty good in paper, I don't often miss it, but in Magic Online I still just ignore the fact that it's there. They wasted us on Wooded Bastion, so if they wasteland our Wooded Bastion, they take us off double white, and if they wasteland our Trop, they take us off blue. Because they don't wasteland us off green, because Plains filters into Wooded Bastion to make us mana. Let's go heads again. Oof. Losing a lot of flips here. Not where we want to be. Alright. Yeah, so I should have just played Stirring Wildwood last turn, either to block or to threaten to cast Palace Jailer, but we do want to start drawing more creatures. Definitely appears as though they have counter magic now. Really need to stop losing some of these flips. Stick with heads. We lost again. It's never heads. Pinot Graham, you're second in the queue right now behind Jake Nash, and I think I'm going to cut it there. I think I'm going to plan to end the stream after your match, so got in just in time. How do I feel about Canlander using the regular Mulligan rule instead of Sorensen variation? Is this something? Yeah, this is something the council's talked about. It's probably one of the most talked about issues over the last couple of years. I'm definitely in favor of keeping things as streamlined towards regular Magic as possible, and that includes using the regular Mulligan rule. I don't think that Canner, bounce our beast. That's kind of annoying. How rude. So it looks like we're just getting tempoed out of this one, but we do talk about it a lot, and I think that I'm in favor of trying to adopt the regular Mulligan. I think a lot of people play too few lands in Canlander, and use the Mulligan as sort of a crutch to enable playing too few lands. And I also think it does also favor certain decks, and including some wonky cards in your deck. Now it was heads. All right, game 3, but exactly, it is just a barrier to entry that shouldn't be there. I think if the new London Mulligan is adopted, we'll likely try. We cannot keep this hand. Guys, Cradle's an awkward one here. If the new London Mulligan becomes adopted, we'll likely try it out. I'm gonna keep this hand. I will keep that on top. Try it out, and I would expect that to be the Mulligan of Canlander for the future. The London Mulligan is they're proposing for the second Mythic Championship of the year, a new Mulligan rule, which involves so if you mulligan, you draw 7, and then put X cards on the bottom of your library, where X is the number of times you've mulliganed. So it's supposed to be able to help you, like, keep more hands, essentially. I think we still need more mana. I'm gonna take this noble. If we draw a land next turn, we'll be able to cast Archon. I'm gonna save our noble here. But it's supposed to be able to help you find more playable hands and reduce the punishment for mulliganing. It's definitely stronger than scrying, because you're able to essentially scry with the knowledge of all the cards you would potentially have access to. So it's like similar to letting you scry before you decide to keep your hand or not. But I do think something needs to be done to reduce the variance a little in Magic. So there, because currently in Magic, mulliganing is super punishing. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to make them have it here. Do you have it? Looks like they have it. That's unfortunate. Yeah, and they have stated that they're just going. It's just a trial run. It would be less broken. It's like scry X, where X is the number of times you've mulliganed. Would be less broken, but I think I'm not sure that's good necessarily where they want to be. Like, I think it's good that they're trying things like this. I'm kind of excited for it. I think I'm just gonna cycle this Ghostway here. That was a good draw. Yeah, one thing that might happen, like, I agree that it's busted in Vintage for sure. I haven't thought about it for Legacy or Modern really, but I think for Standard and things like Canlander that it's probably better than what those formats have currently. I mean, lots of people said that, like, when Wizards took damage off the stack, that like Magic would never be the same, and it's just like pandering to new players, and that it's like the worst decision they've ever made. But like now, if you ask like almost any competitive player who played back then, they're like, yeah, damage on the stack was unnecessary, and like you would often just like new players would lose the game because they didn't understand the intricacies of it. And Magic is still a super deep involved game that lets you outplay your opponent. So like I don't think many people truly regret losing damage on the stack, and it was sort of a similar reaction. Is my take on the matter. So we're gonna punish them for tapping out here in the most maximum way possible. 5. That seems like a good number. Maybe we should have let it resolved and then Palace Jailered it. That probably would have been better. Alright, I'm just getting Thragtusk. Make them deal with a big boy. Yeah, it's possible that they should have allowed the scry rule to stay longer, and that they're maybe reacting negatively to what happened in the last Pro Tour, that where LSV mulled to 4 and lost Game 5 of the Pro Tour finals because of a mulligan to 4. But yeah, if we adopt the London mulligan, I think we're gonna do away with the Sorensen mulligan. What's in our yard? Nothing good. I see. So I sort of want to slow roll this Revel Arc, but I'm not going to. No, definitely everyone gets frustrated by mulliganing to 4. Oh, I forgot to tap white mana. Frick. Ericassi, I'm not sure that's true. Like, I know newer players who are just stoked to play, and like once they figure out that that's part of the game, they're like less jaded by losing games to mulliganing to 4. I think it's like the mid-tier players who like are reasonable players but aren't great players that get the most frustrated at things like that. At least that's what I've found. Like they're good enough to expect to win most of the time, that when they lose, especially to what they perceive as variance, just frustrates them the most. And they're often players who have played for a number of years. Yeah, no Revel Arc value. That's unfortunate. But I don't think it's trying to help people find their sideboard cards. I think it's trying to help people find lands. I think it's just trying to stop non games of Magic due to mana flood / screw. Nice. We've been doing better on our Mana Crypt this game. Ooh-wee. Did you draw a counterspell? No, you did not. Well, all of a sudden, we're looking great. I'm just going to attack them. We're in full-on ignore Jace mode. Yeah, that's another thing that I dislike, is people assuming that arena players are newer players. Well, no Krokar. If we really wanted to mess up Jace, we'd be attacking Jace. We just get to ignore Jace. Like, yeah. They're targeting Lightning Bolt, bolting the Beast. They can't handle the value. Too much value. Oh, we lost a flip. Never lucky. Attack low man. Yeah, but I think a lot of the people, at least from my experience in going to a number of events and meeting some of these people, as well as working in a store for some amount of that, and just like encountering the people coming into a Magic store for the first time, are a lot of people who used to play for a long time and then came back into the game after. That's who I think a large demographic of these perceived newer players are. And so they're not actually that new to the game. They understand a lot of what's going on. They're just out of date. Kyle thinks Paradox Academy would be the deck that would benefit the most from the London Mulligan and Highlander. Second to that, Recall decks. What's your reasoning for that, Kyle? Just curious. Hey Caracas, thanks for popping in. Holy cow, 70 viewers. Hello everybody. Draw sevens. Maybe. No, I would not like to. I guess I could have had 2 Olive Roots last turn. I should have done that. Forgot I had a Mana Crypt. Yeah. I see your point a bit, but I don't think there's a huge difference between decks that are able to, like, I don't think there's a huge difference between the Scry rule and London Mulligan for either of those things. Ooh, Ghostly Flicker. That is a good one. So we could Ghostly, their planes is tapped. So we could Ghostly Flicker, our Venser and our Palace Jailer take both their creatures, draw a card. Or we could just attack them and save the Ghostly Flicker to try to bounce their thing when they take the Monarch back. This is a forced block. They have to block. They're going to block Palace Jailer. That's probably smart. I'm just going to let damage happen. What Magic card do I most associate with each of my co-hosts on North 100? That's a good question. Ben is Suntail Hawk. Surge is Fast Bond. Alex is Lotleth Troll. Oops, I was clicking OK too much. I guess they have to play a creature here, or have a removal spell, I guess. This is sort of annoying. At least we're winning a bunch of Mana Crypt flips. We've also had Mana Crypt every game. Quite fortuitous, I'd say. What is your thing? Restoration Angel? Torrential Gearhulk. That's a good one. Well, we're gonna... Oops. Let's flicker our wall and our Venser. Bounce the Mind Sensor. Draw a card. Dope. We can cast that. Oh my god. It's a mana ability. Let me use it as a mana ability. Don't know what we're getting with this Woodland Bellower. Probably just Knight of Autumn to smash the Gear Hulk. That seems pretty useful. Well, I feel like we're in a good spot to win now. Yep, Wall of Roots is still bugged. The Juice isn't even originally an LRR joke. That was a Jer original. It sort of leaked into LRR through Alex. Man, we're just stone masters of the Mana Crypt flips. Attack. They need so many things. They do have a